the shoulder and killed the machine. I watched the gray swallow the coastal ravine. 10 yards ahead, the asphalt just ends, and into the white, the universe bends. I cannot see forward, I cannot see back. The sky isn't blue, the ocean ain't black. The dashboard clock glows a faint little green, the only hard evidence left on the scene. And I am anchored by drifting fog, lost in the haze of this monologue. I don't have to drive, I don't have to steer. It's a beautiful thing to just disappear. I'm safe in the gray where the edges erase, suspended in time, suspended in space, anchored by drifting fog. I know there's a city a few miles away. I know there's a choice I'm supposed to make today. I have the suitcase packed tight in the trunk, a heavy collection of memories and junk. If I turn the key, I have to decide if I'm walking away or I'm turning the tide. So I'll just sit in the quiet damp, like a ghost in a coastal camp. I'll trace a circle in the window condensation, avoiding the final heavy conversation. 'Cause I am anchored by drifting fog, lost in the haze of this monologue. I don't have to drive, I don't have to steer. It's a beautiful thing to just disappear. I'm safe in the gray where the edges erase, suspended in time, suspended in space, anchored by drifting fog. Shifting on the bluff, the atmosphere has had enough. I see a jagged silhouette of pine, I see the yellow painted highway line. The white is breaking, tearing at the seams. I cannot live inside this vaporous dream. The limbo was a lie, I told my chest I have to move, I have to pass the test. I am unanchored from drifting fog, I'm writing the end of the monologue. I reach for the keys, I put it in gear. I cannot afford to just disappear. The gray is gone, the edges are sharp. I'm stepping out of the dark, out of the drifting fog. I walked through December without a coat. I swallowed the ice, let it freeze in my throat. I learned how to function without any heat. I didn't feel the snow beneath my bare feet. The numbness was a shelter, but the shelter was a tomb. I sat perfectly preserved inside a freezing quiet room. You touch my shoulder, you ask if I'm alright. You strike a little match against my endless night. frost melts. It brings back the thousands of things I haven't felt. The capillaries open, the blood rushes back. The solid foundation begins to crack. It's the bitter frost meeting bleeding warmth. It's the violent collision of the south and the north. The pins and the needles, the stinging of the skin, the terrible agony of letting someone in. Oh, it's thawing out the damage. I'm feeling the sting. It hurts like hell to finally see the spring. Bitter frost, bleeding warmth. The water is running down the inside of the glass. The mud is showing through the dead winter grass. My hands are shaking as the circulation wakes. I'm feeling every single thing that finally breaks. I wanna pull away, I wanna run back to the cold, but I am too exhausted and the ice is getting old. Don't let me pull away from the fire. Hold me against the terrible wire. God, it hurts to be alive. It hurts to feel the blood. I'm washing away the violent flood. I thought I was safe when I couldn't feel a thing, but I was just a statue waiting for the spring. Hold my frozen hands against the burning of the coal. Melt away the armor that is suffocating my soul. Through the bitter frost into bleeding warmth. The quiet surrender of the south and the north. The pins and the needles, they're fading from my skin. I survive the agony of letting you in. I'm thawing out the damage, the winter is done. I am standing crying in the middle of the sun. I used to hate the silver lines upon my skin, the permanent reminder of where you had been, the places where the tissue had to pull and break, the heavy, ugly architecture of the ache. I wore the heavy sleeves, I kept the collar high. I couldn't look the damage in the eye. I thought the healing was a brutal, ugly thing, a freezing winter that would never see the spring. But I looked in the glass at the end of the hall today, and I saw that the bruising had faded to gray. The jagged little edges had softened to white. They were catching the edge of the morning light. I traced the geography across my own chest, a map of the places I survived the test. The skin is tighter, but the skin is tough. I finally bled entirely enough. You tried to bury me beneath the freezing ground, but you didn't know the terrible strength that I found. I am wearing these blossoming winter scars, forged in the dark beneath the apathetic stars. I was broken apart, I was fractured and torn, but this is the place where beneath the apathetic stars. I was broken apart, I was fractured and torn, but this is the place where the iron is born. I trace the silver, I follow the line. Every beautiful mark is incredibly mine. Blossoming winter scars. I dug through the drawer of the bedside stand, found the cracked black plastic, held it in my hand. I hadn't charged this thing in 3 whole years. I plugged it in, wiping away the tears. The apple lit up on the shattered screen, a pale, ghostly, terrifying green. I typed in the code, the year we met, the only sequence I could never forget. I went to the voicemail, scrolled to the bottom, past all the mundane things, the groceries we'd gotten, and there it was, October the 3rd. I held my breath, waiting for the word. I pressed the triangle to hear you speak. The audio was compressed, the speaker was weak, but there was your chest voice, gravel and warm, saying you were driving home through the storm. I'm 10 minutes out, I'll see you soon. Your voice floating up to the ceiling of the room. Over and over I press the glass, watching the seconds of the recording pass. I'm just cradling faded time, listening to the static whine, holding a digital ghost to my ear, pretending that you are actually here. It's 12 seconds long, it's a tiny loop, a desperate, sad, impossible truth. Cradling faded time. Of the mattress and rocked while the digital ghost of my lover talked. I'm 10 minutes out, I'll see you soon. But you never made it home that afternoon. The battery icon flashed to red, 1% left on the phone by the bed. Processor lags. I'll see you. The screen goes black, the plastic cools. I'm the tragic queen of the midnight fools. I stop cradling faded time. I listen to the silence behind the wine. I put down the phone on the bedside stand. I look at the empty lines in my hand. the bottom of a stair, covered in dust and the stagnant air. I pried up the lid with the edge of a knife and stared at the heavy remains of a life. I lifted the locket, the heavy cast weight, forged in the fire of an earlier fate. The chain was a rusted and oxidized red. I held it as still as the sleep of the dead. It drops in my palm like a stone from a cliff. My fingers are shaking, my posture is stiff. It takes up no space, just a piece of the dark, but it carries the gravity, carries the mark. The metal is cold, but it pulls at the skin, a terrible anchor to where we had been. The past is an anvil, the present is glass. I'm waiting for the heavy vibration to pass. I'm holding the relic, I'm bearing the cost of a permanent thing that was permanently lost. I am holding these fragile iron memories, brought to the floor on my trembling knees. The object is rigid, the object is strong. It's me who is breaking from holding too long. I can't bend the metal, I can't change the cast. I am crushed by the absolute weight of the past. Fragile iron memories. If I drop it, it shatters the floor underneath. If I swallow it down, it will shatter my teeth. It doesn't negotiate, it doesn't yield. It's a terrible sword in a desolate field. You forged it in fire, you cooled it in tears, and left it to rust in the dark of the years. But I am the one who must carry the weight. I am the one who is locked in the gate. I am carrying fragile iron memories, brought to the floor on my trembling knees. The metal is rigid, the metal is strong. It's me who is breaking from holding too long. I won't bend the iron, I won't change the cast. I will stand up and carry the weight of the past. Fragile iron memories. I am carrying fragile iron memories, brought to the floor on my trembling knees. The metal is rigid, the metal is strong. It's me who is breaking from holding too long. I won't bend the iron, I won't change the cast. I will stand up and carry the weight of the past. Fragile iron memories. I found the paperback you bought me on the train, the one with the water damage from the London rain. I opened opened up the cover, the spine gave a little crack, and a dozen years of history came rushing back. A single violet pressed between page 42. The color faded, but the shape was perfectly you. I braced myself to feel the heavy, crushing blow, the one that used to knock me out so long ago. But my hands didn't shake and the tears didn't fall. I didn't feel the need to stare at the wall. I touched the dry petals, fragile as glass, and I just felt the quiet, beautiful gratitude pass. The ghost didn't haunt me, the ghost only smiled. The terrible ocean was suddenly mild. The blade is dull, the bleeding stops. I'm catching sunlight in the drops. The bitter winter finally ends, and the memory makes amends. It's just golden lakes unfolding, a beautiful artifact I am holding. The sting is gone, the poison is clear, and there is nothing left to fear. I don't want it back, I don't need a rescue. I just sit in the sun and I quietly bless you. Golden aches unfolding. I remember the way that you laughed in your chest. I remember the terrible way that you left. But the anger evaporated into the air and left only the fact that I actually cared. It isn't a tragedy that the chapter is closed. It's a beautiful thing that the feeling was exposed. We loved and we lost, and the earth kept on turning, and the fire became a magnificent burning. I don't have to carry the ash or the stone. I am perfectly happy and perfectly alone. The grief had a limit, the sorrow was spent, and I am so glad for the time that we meant. Just golden aches unfolding, a beautiful artifact I am holding. The sting is gone, the poison is clear, and there is nothing left to fear. I don't want you back, I don't need a rescue. I just sit in the sun and I quietly bless you. Golden aches unfolding. The amber light is sinking past the window pane. It stretches out across the floor, a golden quiet stain. You left your heavy winter coat across the wooden chair, and the angle of the sun has built a phantom there. The collar makes the shoulder, the fabric makes the spine. The silhouette is perfectly, unmistakably thine. I sit upon the sofa, I don't dare to move my feet, watching you across the room, a terrible deceit. The neighbors turn their porch lights on, a sudden glaring white, but I am sitting perfectly suspended in the twilight. If I stand up and pull the chain, if I ignite the bulb, the electricity will come and forcibly resolve. The geometry will break, the angle will collapse, the phantom will retreat into the empty quiet gap. So I will not flick the switch, I will not make a sound. I'm terrified to touch the lamp and burn you to the ground. I know it's just the canvas, I know it's just the wool, but the fate, it doesn't care for grief. It drops below the horizon, a terrible quiet thief. The amber turns to violet, the violet turns to black, and the darkness is a heavy tide. I cannot push it back. The shadow needs the light to live, but the light is fading out. I am sitting in the pitch black, swallowing a shout. I trace the air where you just stood. I grab the empty wall. The room is terrifyingly empty, and the silence is too full. Even the illusion abandons me tonight. I couldn't hold the shadow, I couldn't hold the light. I am done guarding fragile shadows, swallowed by the velvet of the evening gray. Done guarding fragile shadows, the trick of the light is gone away. I am sitting in the absolute pitch black of the room. I finally let the dark become a tomb. The digital clock throws a violent red, a 3 and a 1 and a 4 by the bed. The refrigerator kicks on in the hall. I stare at the absolute black of the wall. The silence is ringing, a high-pitched whine, a terrible pressure running up my spine. I pull the heavy duvet up over my ear, but the noise isn't outside, the noise is in here. I am trapped in the radiant, aching dark, where the memory burns like an arc welder spark. It is blindingly bright in the pitch of the night. I am wide awake, paralyzed, losing the fight. The shadows glow and the silence is loud, and I am suffocating under the cloud of the radiant, aching dark. My eyelids are heavy, they feel made of lead, but there is a terrible voltage inside of my head. I close my eyes tightly to search for the sleep, but the back of my eyelids project the deep. I see your face in high definition, a brilliant, cruel, and unwanted vision. I open my eyes just to wash it away, but the dark of the room is as bright as the day. There is no shade, there is no rest, just this glowing iron inside of my chest. The mattress is in the truck, the keys are on the sill. The dust has drawn a perfect square where everything is still. I lay my spine against the wood, I stare up at the white. The ceiling fan is motionless, surrendering the fight. I say hello into the air and wait for the return. A simple trick of physics that the quiet made me learn. It bounces off the plaster, it hits the window pane. It comes back to my own two ears, a gentle soothing rain. You never used to answer me, you only used to stare. But the empty room is talking back, the empty room is fair. And I am resting in empty echoes, wrapped in the blanket of the bouncing sound. Resting in empty echoes, the safest place that I've ever found. No furniture to block the voice, no anger in the space, just the reverberation of my own exhausted face. Resting in empty echoes. I trace the scratch upon the floor you made a year ago, when you dragged the heavy bookcase, moving angry, moving slow. The damage is still sitting there, a permanent groove. But the anger has been packed away, it finally had to move. The physics of the drywall are the only friends I keep. I could close my eyes right on the floor and finally go to sleep. I say my name, I say it loud, I am a solitary woman, not a shadow in a crowd. The room agrees, it sings it back, it fills the heavy silence, it fills the heavy lack. I am alone, and it is perfectly alright. The echo is my lullaby inside the hollow night. I am resting in empty echoes, wrapped in the blanket of the bouncing sound. Resting in empty echoes, the safest place that I've ever found. I stand up from the hardwood floor, I walk toward the door. I do not need to listen to the silence anymore, leaving it empty echoes. The thermostat clicked, it dropped to 62. I went to the closet without thinking of you. I pulled out the heavy wool, the dark navy blue, and draped it over the cushion exactly like you do. I set 2 mugs by the kettle on the stove. I smelled the dry leaves blowing through the cedar grove. I caught myself waiting for the turning of the lock. Just me and the relentless ticking of the clock. It's a reflex in the muscle, it's a failure of the brain. Listening for your footsteps in the freezing autumn rain. I'm keeping the hearth warm, I'm tending to the flame for a shadow that doesn't even carry your name. I'm just sheltering autumn ghosts, pouring the wine for invisible hosts, tucking the memories in from the cold, acting like a story that hasn't been told. You're out in the world living in the light, and I'm keeping your phantom warm in the night. Sheltering autumn ghosts. I saw a coat in the window downtown today. The heavy brown canvas, the one you threw away. My hand reached for my wallet before I caught my breath. This habit of loving you is starving me to death. The chill isn't coming from under the door, it's coming from the empty side of the floor, where I'm sheltering autumn ghosts, pouring the wine for invisible hosts, tucking the memories in from the cold, acting like a story that hasn't been told. You're out in the world living in the light, and I'm keeping your phantom warm in the night. Sheltering autumn ghosts. It was never you at all, it's just the shape of my grief painted on the wall. No more sheltering autumn ghosts, no more wine, no more wine for invisible. I'm putting it away, I'm opening the windows to the bitter gray. Let the draft come in, let it freeze the wood. I'd evict your memory if I only could go back to the cold. To the cold. You turn the page of your magazine. I watch the glow of the television screen. The thermostat hums a reliable tune. A perfectly peaceful Tuesday night in June. I ask if you want a glass of the wine. You smile without looking, you say you are fine. We don't raise our voices, we don't slam the doors. We tiptoe like ghosts on the hardwood floors. It's a masterpiece of avoiding the fight, a flawless performance we put on tonight. Not a single harsh word, not skin. It's elegant and bright, but it's pulling around my throat in the night. Silk woven from silence. I remember the kitchen 3 years ago, the shouting, the crying, the glass we would throw. It was ugly and loud, it was jagged and mean, but God, it was honest, and God, it was clean. I would trade this velvet for a terrible spark. I'm freezing to death in the polite, quiet dark. It's a masterpiece of avoiding the fight, a flawless performance we put on tonight. Not a single harsh word, not a tear in the eye. We are far too polite to admit that we died inside the silk woven from silence. A beautiful fabric hiding the violence. We spin the thread from the things we don't say, wrapping the distance tighter each day. It's soft on the skin, it's elegant and bright, but it's pulling around my throat in the night. Silk woven from silence. Rip the fabric, break the thread. I cannot live in this beautiful bed. Scream at me, tell me you're leaving. Give me some proof that we're actually breathing. The peace isn't peace, it's a beautiful tune, and we are just suffocating inside of this room. I am tearing the silk woven from silence. I am begging for just a fraction of violence. Stop spinning the thread from the things we don't say. Look at me, don't look away. It's choking my lungs, it's blinding my sight. I am cutting the fabric open tonight. The wind is coming off the eastern ridge. I park the car beside the rusted bridge. I walk the half a mile up the hill to a place that is terrifyingly still. My fingers trace the letters of your name, the date of the fire, the end of the flame. The rock is freezing underneath my hand, the only solid thing left in the land. Stone and fragile whispers, a secret spoken to the moss and the gray. Stone and fragile whispers, giving the granite what I couldn't say. I couldn't look you in the eyes when you were here, so I'm giving my confession to the atmosphere. Stone and fragile whispers. I sit down on the earth, I cross my legs, I open up the box of shattered dregs. I loved you more than I knew how to show. I was terrified to let the anger go. I knew about the letter in your coat. I swallowed the apology inside my throat. I speak the heavy truths into the air, knowing that you aren't really there. But the rock doesn't argue, the rock doesn't turn. The rock doesn't tell me that I have to burn. It absorbs the vibration, it swallows the sound. It anchors my terrible guilt to the ground. I was a coward when you were breathing the air. Now I am brave when it's completely unfair. You can't forgive me, and the stone cannot speak. I am talking to a rock, and I am incredibly weak. Just stone and fragile whispers, a secret spoken to the moss and the gray. Stone and fragile whispers, giving the granite what I couldn't say. The burden is lifted, the words are set free. The monument is holding the darkness for me. Stone and fragile whisper. The yellow light is spilling on the floorboards in the hall. It traces every crack and every shadow on the wall. I pull the heavy curtains tight, I try to block the glare, but morning finds a way to slip inside the heavy air. I hear the robins waking up, a stupid cheerful sound. The frost is finally broken on the unforgiving ground. You always loved October, you hated the spring. You said the blooming flowers were a loud and violent thing. I stand beside the window with the coffee getting cold. I'm wearing out a sweater that is 7 winters old. The grass is glowing violently, a brilliant toxic green. It's the most insulting beautiful that I have ever seen. The world is moving forward, the world is waking up, and I am standing frozen with a ceramic cup. The birds are singing treason in the branches of the trees. The daffodils are shaking in the apathetic breeze. I wanna scream it, all of it, I wanna paint it black, because every single petal proves you aren't coming back. And I am blinded by the sunlit morning dew, a million tiny prisms that are perfectly untrue. The earth is throwing diamonds on a devastating day, trying to convince me that the dark has gone away. But the light is just a liar with the brilliant golden hue, and I'm drowning in the sunlit morning dew. I walk out on the porch and let the screen door gently slam. I close my eyes and try to just accept the way I am. The moisture on the railing wets the skin beneath my hand. A quiet kind of logic I can finally understand. It isn't trying to hurt me, the sun is just a star. It's shining on the kitchen and it's shining where you are. I frost is thick upon the chain link fence. None of what I'm doing makes a bit of sense. I have my heavy boots sinking in the mud, trying to pull a heartbeat out of frozen blood. I drag the heavy hose across the dying lawn, standing like a lunatic in the freezing dawn. I twist the copper valve, the water spits and groans, washing over brittle leaves that look like little bones. I know the season's over, I know the sun retreated, I know the final argument was permanently seated. But if I stop the watering, I have to go inside and face the empty kitchen where the illusion died. So I am tending withered gardens, waiting for the soil as it hardens, pouring all the heavy water into the dust, feeding the decay and polishing the rust. I am desperate for a green I'll never see, tending withered gardens and killing me. They probably think I'm mad, the most pathetic widow that the neighborhood has had. The tomato vines are black, the hydrangeas are a joke. The entire summer collapsed into a puff of smoke. But I keep the water running, cooling at my feet, a bitter freezing as it hardens, pouring all the heavy water into the dust, feeding the decay and polishing the rust. I am desperate for a green I'll never see, tending withered gardens and killing me. You can't love a blossom back, you cannot fix the rot, you can't untie the heavy rope when time is pulled the knot. I'm pouring all my empathy into a hollow hole. I am freezing off my fingers, I am emptying my soul. The roots are refusing, the dirt is turning to stone, and I am just a woman standing in the yard alone. I stopped tending withered gardens, I listen to the soil as it hardens. I drop the heavy hose into the freezing dust. I leave the dying memories to the rot and rust. There isn't any green I'm going to see. I let the withered garden be. I turn the brass handle, I open the door. The water is pooling upon the wood floor. The wind has died down to a whisper of air. The frantic vibration has left from my hair. The sky is a bruise, soft magnificent plum. The terrible drumming has ceased on the drum. I step on the porch in my absolute bare feet and smell the ozone rolling off of the street. I stand in the silence, I look at the gray, watching the heavy clouds pulling away. I take a deep breath, I fill up my chest and realize the muscle is finally at rest. I am watching the velvet storms withdrawing, the ice on the frozen river is thawing. The thunder is a rumor miles away. The darkness surrenders to the end of the day. Doesn't hurt anymore. The fever is broke, the fire is vanished, and so has the smoke. Velvet storms with joy. I thought that the rain was a permanent state. I thought I was locked in a terrible fate. But the weather just moves, it's a trick of the earth, a natural cycle of dying and birth. I look at the puddles reflecting the light. I am not afraid of the coming of night. The velvet storms withdrawing, the ice on the frozen river is thawing. The thunder is a rumor miles away. The darkness surrenders to the end of the day. Doesn't hurt anymore. The fever is broke, the fire is vanished, and so has the smoke. Velvet storms withdraw. I don't need to fight it, I don't need to run. I stand in the damp and wait for the sun. Thank you for the water, thank you for the rain, thank you for the washing away of the pain. The tempest was necessary, the damage was real, but the most beautiful thing is the capacity to heal. The sky is wide open, the air is so clear, there is absolutely nothing to fear. The velvet storm has withdrawn. The freezing, terrible winter is gone. The thunder is silent 1,000 miles away. The evening surrenders to the close of the day. It doesn't hurt anymore. The fever is broke, the fire is vanished, and so has the smoke. The storm has withdrawn. The front door clicked at 2:45, leaving the silence, the winter in me. I didn't run after, I didn't shout, I just watched the fire slowly burn out. The logs collapsed with a hollow sigh. The orange retreated, allowing the gray to multiply. And I knelt on the rug in the freezing air, staring at the space where you used to pull up a chair. I press my palms to the blackened stone, learning the geometry of being alone. There is still a ghost of the heat in the brick, a desperate magic, a terrible trick. I scrape my knuckles in the soot and the dust, a physical marker of losing my trust. The ambient air is dropping to freezing, and my lungs are tight. I can hear myself wheezing. I know the flame is dead and gone. I know I should be moving on, but I pull my knees to my chest on the floor, and I gather the dust from the war, just warm ash mercy of the dark of the night. The glow in the center is finally gone. The absolute gray is turning on. I look at my fingers, they're covered in black. I look at the door and